All right, so I've got a few questions from teachers that I met at the Illinois Reading Conference. We answered some on last episode. We've got more coming in today. The first one is kind of a funny story that I want to talk about, and I love this question. It made me laugh when I got it. It was from a teacher. I'm not going to use her name, honestly, because I didn't print this one off. I just read it really quick during school today. But it was from a teacher who has been teaching for 28 years. She asked, she complimented me a lot, which I love, especially coming from a veteran teacher, so thank you so much for that. It meant a lot to hear you say that some of my sessions were the best ones you've been to in your teaching career. I can't tell you how much that means to me because I'm sure you've been to a lot of conferences, so thank you for those compliments, and that really inspired me to keep doing more of what I'm doing. But the part that made me laugh was her title of her email just said, "Do you ever sleep?" or "When do you sleep?" And it's funny you ask that because my good friend Matt Beck, who runs a show called The Matt Beck Show, and it's an education show for hairstylists, he got asked the same question. And I love the way he answered. He answered along the lines of something, when you're passionate enough about something, sleep is the last thing on your mind. And my mentality with Teachers Learn Too and my education and educating teachers goes along that same guideline. Sleep is the last thing I think about. I spend my day with my family and my kids at school. I spend my evenings with my family at home, going to the gym, whatever it is that we do here. Playing games, we play board games, we play video games together, we do everything together as a family. Well, when I'm not at school, I'm with these three other people who I call my family and I share my home with. That's my life, family first. But other than that, I'm at school, creating content on every chance I get. So at lunch, that's my only time I really sit down. That's when I'm creating this content for you guys, when I'm not doing it here in my basement. But I'm constantly looking for new ideas and new ways to share things with all of you. So when I get home and I spend time with my family and I usually fall asleep reading one of my kids a bedtime story, that's when I sleep for a little while, and then I wake up at some odd hour of the night and I do more work for Teachers Learn Too or work on my books. So it was just a funny question, especially since I just saw the same question answered on my good friend's show. But it is, I think he's right. When you're passionate about something like I am with education and making teachers more informed and educated, sleep isn't something I really think about. So thank you for the question. I laughed out loud at that one. I thought it was pretty funny. So thank you, and thank you again for the compliments as well too. It means a lot to me to hear you say that. The next question comes from Emily, and Emily sent me an email, and this was kind of an interesting one. Emily was at one of my sessions at the IRC, the Illinois Reading Conference, and she heard me talking about my wonderful wife, who is a second grade teacher in my building. So her email to me said, "Adam, I am currently a second grade teacher and am very curious as to how your wife uses technology in her classroom." So that was kind of a fun question to get because I got to go to Tricia and ask her all about how she uses tech in her room. I already kind of know a little bit because we work a lot together and coming up with ideas. But my wife in her second grade classroom still does centers, which I think is phenomenal. I think a lot of times when kids move on from kindergarten, centers are no longer a thing. So I'm glad to see she is, and I know a lot of it. Teachers out there are, so don't take that the wrong way. But she uses her Osmos, her iPads, extra math, computers, and smartboards during centers. And that's the bulk of her technology use throughout the day. If you don't know what Osmos are, please go check out www.playosmo.com. I'm going to let you look that up for yourself. I'm not going to waste time talking about it because their videos show you a lot. I also did a video for them on my YouTube channel, www.teacherslearn2.com, so check that video out. The Osmos are an amazing iPad add-on that you need to check out. We both use them in our classrooms, my wife and I, and our kids absolutely love them. So check those out. That's the main way she uses them. So Osmos, iPads, extra math, computer, smartboard. And then her second grade class goes to the computer lab in our school once a week. And in that time, she said they're doing IXL, extra math, and reading eggs. So that was a great question, Emily. I'm so glad that I could, find the right resource, like my wife, to ask that. But I appreciate you reaching out to me for those questions as well. I think the big thing to remember with technology is it doesn't really matter how you're using it. I guess the way I'm using it might not be the way that you're using it, is what I'm trying to say, or the way she is using it, but that you're using it. You know, I talked in my session at the reading conference, in my technology session, that you are still a teacher, and I do want people to understand that and believe that you are the teacher first. The technology is a tool, but these amazing technologies that we have as tools for our kids are just going to enhance what we do in our classroom. So that's my big thing, is however you decide to use it, whatever way works best for you and your kids, use it. It doesn't have to be something somebody else is doing. Nobody in my school is using Osmos. I was the first one to pick them up, and now my wife is, you know, it turned that into an awesome station in her room, and other teachers look into it too. So it's great that you ask, and it's great that you look into others, but find something that really, really works for you in your classroom, and use it, and then share that with me. I'd love to hear your ideas too. So thank you, Emily, for that question. The next two questions came from the same person over a couple different emails, so thank you. Anna A. asked two questions. One of them, and this kind of goes for all of you, she said, would it be okay to use a picture of your morning binders from your Facebook page in a presentation that I am sharing with my staff? Of course, I will give you credit and send teachers to your page. Thank you, first of all, for sending people to my pages on Teachers Learn Too, and on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everything. And secondly, of course, that's why I put those pictures on social media, so teachers can use them. I'd appreciate it if you did not use them in presentations when you go out to other to like conferences and stuff like that. But if you're just talking to teachers at your school, that is perfectly fine. Go right ahead and do that. I love to hear ideas of mine being shared with other teachers. And I've already got permission for those pictures to be out there. So if it's on social media, obviously it's being shared anyway. So of course, share it with your educators at your school, and thank you for giving me the credit on that. I appreciate it. And then Anna had another question, and this one we're going to end with tonight because we're going to go into a video in a few minutes that I shot in my classroom today. So you kind of get to see my classroom in action, and it goes along with this question. So her question was related to something I talked about in my writing session at the reading conference. And I talked about an activity I do in my classroom called story building, where we come up with a character, a setting, a problem, and a solution, and we build a story as a class in like 10 minutes. And the kids get so excited and motivated to do this that it makes them want to go write as well. So Anna's question was, because I don't know if I explained this well enough in the session, she said, what 4 parts do you use when you're doing your story building activity? So great question, Anna, because I know I kind of rambled during the session. But my 4 areas that we focus on are a character, the setting, the problem, and the solution. So as a class, we come up with a character that we want to meet, like a favorite animal or something like that. And then we put that animal somewhere, or that character somewhere in the setting. They come up with a problem, and they come up with a solution, all while I'm drawing it out on a big chart paper and writing down some words for them. But we use that really just as a way to show them how quick and easy it can be to come up with a story from their imagination and turn it into a story that they want to share with others. So I love that question so much, I decided to record our story building activity today in my classroom. So we're going to take a look at that right now. This is my classroom today doing a story building activity, and this is only the 2nd time they have done this. So you can see that they're good at it already, but also they're still very excited. You're going to see everyone involved, you're going to see everyone wanting to help, and you're going to hear a lot of laughter, and it's a silly story, but it's fun to do. So take a look at this video on my story building activity. Let's take a look at it right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to make up a story. And we're going to make up a story using those 4 things. Character, setting, where we see the character, right? Problem, and
a
solution. How we solve that problem, right? Because we don't want our story to end sad, do we? No. Okay, so let's do this. Let's think of a character. Everybody think. Brainstorm inside your head. Think really hard of your favorite animal. Ooh, lots of good ideas. Jovi.
A cat.
A cat. That's good because I can draw a cat really easy. Okay, so let's do a cat. All right. So let's put this back here. We're gonna set that back there for now, okay?
Will we have enough paper?
We're gonna have enough paper. Not right now, but we will all do this sometime. We'll just do one today. Each day we'll do a new story, okay? See how many different stories we come up with. Where could we meet Jovi the cat? Everybody say the setting is.
The setting is.
The setting is what, Isabella? Where is
the
she?
house.
A house. Good. Inside a house. She's a house cat. Okay. That away. All right. What is a problem that could happen with a cat inside a house? What could? Shh. Raise your hand. What is a problem that could happen with a cat inside a house?
Hungry?
Hunter.
Fire.
Ooh, we've been talking about fire safety. Good idea. The house catches on.
Fire.
Uh-oh. Everybody say dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's our problem, right? So let's draw our house. The house caught on fire. That's our problem. But in your story, you make up the problem and how it happened. Whose story is it? It's yours. If you're the author, you get to be the creator. Okay? Alright, so we met Jovi the cat. Jovi the cat lives in a house. We ran into a problem. She has a fire in her house. How can we solve that problem? We do not want our story. Shh, wait! To end sad, right? We want to end happy. Addison, how can we solve the problem?
The firefighter.
How'd she get a hold of the firefighters?
Now 911.
Remember that number we learned this morning on Mr. Harry's video? 911. The number to call is 911. Okay. All right, let's go back to the beginning now. Because boys and girls, look how easy this was. In just like 5 minutes, we just made a story. Now I know that we didn't add a lot of details, but that's your job, right? But look how quickly we just made a story. I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna go back here, and here's our story, my friends. Everybody say hello to my friend Jovi the cat.
Hi, Jovi.
So we can say, once upon a time, there was a cat named Jovi. Jovi the cat lived inside a purple house. She loved her purple house so much, but one day she accidentally bumped a candle and started a fire. Dun dun dun. The fire started in a bedroom. Smoke was pouring out of the house, so Jovi the cat called
911.
and the firefighters came and saved the day. The end. Everybody give yourselves a hand. Look how easy. In just 5 minutes, we just made a story. Just like that. So, can you be authors? Yeah. Can you be writers?
Yeah.
Yes. It's easy. Did I write many words on this? No, because what did I tell you? You don't have to write words. Your pictures, Emerson, your pictures can tell.
You don't know how to write words, you just don't.
Listen to Kellen. What'd you
You
say?
don't know how to write words, you just don't.
Yeah, your picture can tell the story. Remember what I always tell you? Draw me a story. Okay? Carson, sit up, buddy. Draw me a story. So look at that, just like that. 4 pictures, and we made a story about Jovi the cat who lives in a purple house that caught on fire, so she called 911 and the firefighters saved the day. Dun dun dun. Everybody say, yay, Jovi!
Yay, Joey!
Everybody say, the end.
The end.
I am an author. Give yourselves a big hand. Alright, so there you go. That's a video from my classroom today doing our story building activity. I hope you enjoyed that, Anna. I hope that answered your question. So I guess that's it for tonight. Again, any questions you guys have, please post on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at Teachers Learn 2. You can also email me your questions, adam@teacherslearn2.com. So please submit your questions. Please keep following me on all social media outlets. Subscribe at www.teacherslearn2.com for all your updates on YouTube, and you'll get notice of these videos right away. But thank you most of all for watching and tuning into all these episodes. Episode number 4 will be coming soon. So again, get your questions in as soon as you can. But this was episode 3 of Teachers Talk 2. More questions answered from the Illinois Reading Conference. And all about technology. So thank you guys for your questions, and we'll see you soon on episode 4 of Teachers Talk 2. Thanks again.